Since this short got more than 5 likes, it's time for the Philippine Radio Tier list. Obviously in FM only, I barely listen on AM by the way. But here's the catch, instead of a typical tier list where S tier is the best and F tier is the worst, I replace it with only A tier to C tier. From mostly to barely. I still count that as a tier list, since it's based on whether if listened that radio station the most or the least. Anyways, let's begin.
Okay, so let's start with 87.5 Republika JUAN. For me, I'm gonna put it in C tier or barely because I barely listen to it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the station itself. It's just I barely listen to it whatsoever. Anyways, let's go to which is next. Jam. I think it's Jam 88.3. Jam 88.3. I don't typically listen it at home or somewhere, but I typically listen to it whenever I'm, let's say, in the transportation. So I'm gonna put that as well in C tier, barely. Okay, let's go with AWR 89.1. Just like with these two, it's only a matter of time if I listen to it, let's say in a transportation and such. So I'm gonna put this again in C tier. Alright. Last up is Magic 89.9. Interesting. To be fair, I want to put this in B tier sometimes, but most of the time I barely listen to it. I only listen to it whenever, let's say, in certain times. But I think most of the time it's basically on a car or whenever there's no radio no radio station that I wanted to listen to besides something. So I'm just gonna put it in barely as well, just for the sake of it. Okay, so we got 90.7 Love Radio. Ooh. I want to put this in either A tier mostly or B tier sometimes. Like in transportation or in otherwise in car rides. Or especially in the radio. To be fair, I barely listen to Love Radio, to be honest. So I'm just gonna put it in A tier, mostly. Alright, next is Win Radio 91.5. Wow, I've heard that radio station many times already from transportations itself. So I'm just gonna put it in A tier again, mostly. Then next up is FM my favorite music radio, 92.3. I mean, if it was November, I could say mostly, but now that the Christmas season is now over, I'm gonna put it on sometimes, B tier. Okay, next up is Monster RX 93.3. 93.3? No, it's 93.1. Just like with Magic 89.9, I typically listen to it if there's no good radio station to listen or feeling bored. So I'm just gonna put it in C tier, barely. So next one is 93.9 IFM. Ooh, another radio station that I listened in transportation. So I'm just gonna put this in sometimes. Sometimes I hear it on transportation and sometimes I do it at home. And then, here we go, Mellow 94.7 BFM. I do know that I used to listen a lot of Mellow 94.7. So from this radio station, Mellow 94.7 BFM, I would put it in sometimes as well. Okay, next one is Eagle FM 95.5. It's basically a variety music. So most of the time at home, I actually listen to 95.5. I want to put it either between mostly or sometimes, but to make it safe, I'm gonna put it sometimes, B tier. Okay, finally we're reaching to my all-time radio station that I listened for many years already, Easy Rock. Ooh. But I'm gonna put it in sometimes or mostly. If it were back then, I would put it in A tier, mostly. But now I'm just gonna put it sometimes. Okay, now we got to Barangay LS 97.1. Oh, it's the same situation with Eagle FM and Easy Rock. It's situational. Okay, anyways, it's the same situation, and of course it's actually like this for some reason. Yikes. So anyways, I'm gonna put this in... I hear it on transportation, and I listen to it sometimes at home. So I'm just gonna put it in... not mostly, but if I want to put it mostly, then fine. I'm gonna put it in mostly. Ooh, yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we're reaching to 97.9 home radio. Feels good to be home. Just like with Easy Rock, if it were like a few years ago, I would put it in mostly, but now I would put it in sometimes as well, because I technically don't listen to soft AC most of the time. And you'll see why. And this is the reason. 98.7 DZFE, the Massive Touch. I'm gonna put this in A tier mostly because I love some classical music and a little bit of religious listening. It's much peaceful, much more calmer, and from this radio station itself, I love some calm classical music and a little bit of religious talk, and of course a bit of variety from it. Okay, there it is. 99.5 XFM. I'm gonna put this in C tier barely because I barely listen to it. You know why. Okay, let's go to RJ 100.3. Situational, because most of the time I actually listen to it at home and in car rides. I'm gonna put this in A tier mostly. Alright, next one is 101.1 Yes FM. Ooh, situational. I want to put it on sometimes, but I barely listen to it. So I'm just gonna put it in C tier. Barely. Then let's go to Star FM. But I would put it sometimes and even on barely, but I want to say barely because I barely listen to it at home. Okay, there it is. Let's go to All Radio 103.5, and I want to put it in B tier sometimes, but that was before. But now I'm gonna put this in C tier barely as well. Wow, I barely listen to this radio station. Sometimes I listen to these as well. Okay, let's go to 104.1, I think. I am 104.3. Okay, 104.3, the capital. If it was before, like I said a few years ago, I would say I would put it in sometimes, but now, barely. I'm gonna put this in barely as well. C tier. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Brigada 105.1 News FM. I don't want to put it in sometimes as well because it's just pretty odd. Because I don't think sure, certain times I technically listen to it, but that was just because I was bored on picking on what radio station that I wanted to listen from. But if I want to be safe, then sure. I listen to it in car rides and I listen to it sometimes at home. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in sometimes. B tier. We only got 3 radio stations left now, so there's 105.9 True FM. I remember this was from 92.3, then 106.7 Energy FM, and finally Wish 107.5. True FM would be around barely because I barely listen to it. Then let's go to 106.7 Energy FM. Obviously, this is gonna be at C tier, barely, and then finally Wish 107.5. Oh, I want to put it in mostly or sometimes, but I hear it on car rides, I hear it on transportation, although I barely listen to it because it's hard for my radio to tune in with using, instead of using a digital radio, I have to tune in with using a, something straight out from old TV. But other than that, most of the time, I listen to it in car rides and transportations, which gave me the okay to put it on A tier, mostly. And that is all for the tier list. I know this is actually different, but it's okay. This is actually a pretty fun tier list to do, and I hope I can do this again, but this time with fast food tier list, especially in this country. So many fast food places I have eaten, especially in the malls, so this is gotta be fun to rank at. But this time I don't put it on mostly, sometimes barely. I would say best to, not even worst, I'll just put it best to average. That's it. So anyways, that's all, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace. Oh wow, 17 minutes. That's like under 20 minutes.